Hey guys, it's Ruffles Kermit, and today I have an exciting announcement. I finally got the Making History DLC, which adds a whole bunch of new stuff like new pods and structural panels. But the main attraction is the 5-meter parts. This means we can make rockets much bigger and still look like a rocket without doing anything too crazy. Today, we are making a rocket that has a 3.75-meter lander. This was the biggest size before this expansion. This lander will also have some things inside it, so this should be pretty cool. As you can see, I put a truss structure from a fairing, so we're going to have a whole bunch of stuff in the middle of the rocket, and this part is going to be the engine part. Obviously, because it has engines. But anyway, we do need some reaction wheels because this is a very, very big lander. You also notice those side pieces and some of these fuel tanks I'm using. These are all different because they're from the expansion. They do look pretty cool. So are these wheels. These wheels actually fold up, which I'll be doing pretty soon. There you go. These wheels fold up, which makes it much easier to store some rovers. Speaking of rovers, this rover is going to have all the normal science on it, besides the Science Junior. Don't put that on a rover. And then we'll actually put a seat on it, and we're going to put 2 of these on the rocket just because we can, because we have so much space. But here, this is one of the new pods. You get this little circular pod. It's sort of hard to add parachutes to it, but it does look pretty cool if you get it right. But this pod is going to be a return vessel, so some of our Kerbals can return, and that pod actually comes in 3 different configurations. You can hold 1 Kerbal, 2 Kerbals, or 3 Kerbals. But here are the 5-meter parts. These parts are very big. It also gives you engine plates, so you can more easily add engines like I'm doing right now, and you don't have to do something really weird. And these engine plates actually automatically decouple, so you don't have to put a decoupler. You can just put the next giant fuel thing. I'm losing my vocabulary, but anyway, moving on. This is a new engine piece, so you can add a whole bunch of engines pretty efficiently, and it still looks very cool. These 5-meter parts are some of my favorite now because I can add giant rockets, and these side boosters can be the 3.75, which was the original largest booster in KSP. So this rocket is huge. These side boosters were the normal size of a rocket before you get the expansion. But big side boosters means big SRBs to detach them. Separatrons wouldn't work very well, so I'm actually putting fleas in these side boosters to detach them a lot more efficiently. Using little Separatrons would require like 10 or way more than that. That wouldn't be very efficient. One of the last things we have to do is put landing legs on our lander so our lander can actually land, and then it is time for launch. We are launching from the desert airfield. We actually get a couple different places to launch from. This one is probably my favorite. But our fuel is running out on our side boosters, and boom, those fleas worked pretty perfectly. You couldn't have asked for a better stage separation. I probably could have gotten to Duna with this rocket, or maybe somewhere else like Drace or something, but I was sort of lazy. I didn't really want to, and so I decided to just go to Minmus. Plus, I have a Minmus base, and it's actually very large, and so we can add this large lander to our large base. Unfortunately, my computer is sort of slow, and landing a large lander next to a large base is not very good for your frame rate. I had to speed up that footage a whole bunch. Right now I'm going to EVA a Kerbal so we can see how big this thing actually is. Look at this. This is huge. Usually it's a Mark II or Mark I size lander, but this is Mark III with those extra side boosters. This is amazing. Anyway, let's get back to my old computer because I do have another minor announcement. I have recently monetized my YouTube channel, and I've started making money from it thanks to all you subscribers getting subscribed. So thank you guys, and if you're not subscribed, subscribe. But one of my near future goals is to use the money I make from my YouTube channel to get a better computer that isn't as slow. So if you could like this video, subscribe, tell your friends to subscribe, all that would help me very greatly in my quest for a new computer. Look at me shamelessly plugging my YouTube channel. But let's get back to the actual video. We just jettisoned that last interplanetary, intermoon stage, I don't know what you call it. But we're going to land right next to this large base as well. This base was sort of a hassle to actually land itself. It was landed in one piece, but let's not get off track. These rovers aren't of any use unless we actually deploy them with their nice little RCS. Yes, they can fly. They're flying rovers. But we don't want to fly them. We want to drive them because of those cool wheels. So let's land this second rover, and then we can go over to this base and get my favorite Kerbal. His name is Ruffles Kermit. Yes, I did go into the save file and change it. It wasn't that hard. Anyway, Ruffles Kermit is going to be the first Kerbal to test drive these rovers with the new wheels from the expansion. Actually, these wheels are very good. They don't take up too much electricity. I only have 2 RTGs on there, and it was fine for as long as I drove it. And the wheels also have a good turning radius. Traction is pretty good. You know, everything you want from a wheel is great. Look at this nice shot of Ruffles Kermit with his rover, and Kerbin in the background, actually. There was Kerbin right there in the background. But it's time for Ruffles Kermit to drive back or fly back, because the rovers are flying rovers. But mostly drive back because it is still a rover with those cool wheels. But here we are back at home base. Ruffles Kermit is going to use the RCS to stop his rover, and then we only have one thing left for this video, and that is to use this return capsule. This has Bob, Bill, and Jebediah on it. They didn't really do anything. I was just wanted to show off this little return capsule, but this is actually very cool. It uses the new 1.875 diameter, I think, and then it goes down to the Mark 1, and then that little pomegranate pod on top. It is called a pomegranate pod. I'm not sure why, but they do get to fly back in this return capsule, and we do get to see the very coolness of this pod. I think I just made up a new word. Coolness. Here's something cool. This pod carries its own decoupler and ablator. I was a little worried when I saw the ablator at first. It only has 20, whereas the normal Mark 1 heat shield has 100, I think. But there was nothing to be worried about. It didn't even get down to 19 ablator. I don't know why they put 20. They should have put 100 and made it just normal and use the normal amount, but they didn't. And here we are back at Kerbin safe and sound. Overall, I'd say making history was a very good investment. It adds some great new parts. It also adds like a mission builder, but whatever. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this video. I really hope you liked it. Please like the video, subscribe if you're not already, and have a great rest of your day.